皆さんこんにちは。今日の企画はシンガポール在住の外国語大好きおじさんの指導のもと、比較的長い英語の長文を丸暗記してそれを言うということで、練習するという、取り組みです。この番組が始まる2時間前に、各メンバーが、ある長文、400字450字の英文を手渡されて、それから、暗記をしまして、その後にこの番組を始めました。まず前半をご覧ください。はい、わかりました。じゃあもう一度ですね、長文暗記をするに至ったきっかけなんですけども、昔僕は中国の上海に中学校と高校時代に留学してまして、でその時に、中国の教育でやらされたっていうのが、古い文章、古文ですね、漢字などの古文を、丸暗記させるっていうしきたりがあるんですけども、長文暗記はその時から実践するようになっています。で、英語の勉強に関してはですね、大学のそうですね、4年生の時、22歳の時に、長文暗記を始めたんですけども、今40歳なので、もう18年間やっているという計算になります。以上です。 ありがとうございます。それではですね。
質問いいでしょうか。質問、
はい、お願いします。
中学校、高校、上海で過ごされたということで、その時の教育は日本語ですか、それとも、中国語あるいは英語？
オールチャイニーズです。
ああ、そうですか。はい。中国語はベースとしてあったということですね。
そうですね。僕にとっては第一外国は中国なんですね。
なるほど。
で、英語っていうのは本当に中学校、高校で中国人の先生から教わるっていう感じですね。
あ、わかりました。はい。はい。
外交員さん、そっちのね、動画を切ってみていただけますか？
動画ですか？
はい。そしたら音だけだからクオリティがいいかもしれないなと思って。
動画切るとですね、いいんですけども、but, I have to wear an eye mask when I do the recitation.
あ、わかりました。
Right? So, I have to show to everybody that I'm not cheating, but if you guys are okay with it, I can just turn off the vision.
Sure. Because I will be the only one anyways who can watch that, so, yeah, I will believe you.
ビデオするっていうやり方がですね、ちょっとわからないんですけども、
まあ、どっちでもいいです。
いいですか？ごめんなさい。
はい。
I would just stay on like this.with my video on.
Okay.
And if a viewer complains, then I would just turn off the video later.
Okay, that sounds good.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes. 8割から9割理解できるという報告をいただいております。
あ、よかったです。
はい。それではどういうふうに言ったらいいですかね。
質問なんですけど、
はい。
暗記を今からしていたときに、もしどこかで間違っていったら、そこを途中で教えてくださるんですか？それともそのまま流れて最後まで。
そうですね。こうしましょう。今、みずきさん、ビデオの状態になってますか？というのは僕はスカイプで、みずきさんの顔は見えないんですけども。
あ、なってないです、今。
なってないですか？わかりました。じゃあですね、ビデオの状態になって、目隠しをすると思うんですけども、let's make it a rule that, in case you come across a section that you don't quite remember, you can take off your eye mask and cheat, right? And put the eye mask back on when you remember and continue to fight.
Eye mask. Can I just close my eyes?
Yeah, you can just close eyes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
実際のところ誰もチートしないと思いますけど。
チートしたってしょうがないから、
得にならないよね。
チート しないですけど。
さらにね、なんかインターネット上からですね、外国語大好きおじさんがチーティングするとは誰も思わないでしょう。わーというメッセージが来てます。
まあ人間的にね、カンニングするとしたらまあ俺だと思うんですけど、まあしたって何のあれにもならないですからね。はい。
わしなんかやってもいいけどね。まあいいや。はい。
で、あとそうですね、でこうしましょう。みずきさんもしやっていてわからないことがあったら、ヘルプというふうに言っていただければですね、
そうですね。そうだ、きっかけを言っていただければ、ね、まあ、これは競争っていうよりも、まあ、勉強の機会っていう意義の方がね、あるかと思うので、 まあ、詰まったらちょっとそのきっかけを言ってあげたらまた続き言えるかなと思うので、そういうのはどうですかね。
はい、わかりました。お願いします。
はい。まあ、僕とかはね、まあ、もう本当にとりあえずやってみるって感じだね。はい、じゃあやりましょう。はい。
どうやってビデオにするんですかね、これ。
まあ、
もし
しなくてもいいですか？
しなくてもいい。
あ、じゃあ行きますね、早速。
はいはい。
Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank and of having nothing to do. Once or twice she had peeped into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it. And what is the use of a book? Said Alice. Without pictures or conversations? So she was considering in her own mind, as well as she could, for the hot day made her feel very sleepy and stupid. Whether the pleasure of making a daisy chain will be worth the trouble of getting up and picking the daisies. When suddenly a white rabbit with pink eyes ran close by her. There was nothing so very remarkable in that. Nor did Alice think it so very much.
言ってほしい。
Wait. Nor did Alice so very much out of the way to hear the rabbit say to itself, oh dear, I shall be too late. When she thought it over afterwards, it occurred to her that she ought to have wondered at this, but at the time, it all seemed quite natural. But when the rabbit actually took a watch out of its waistcoat and looked at it, then hurried on.
ちょっと抜けたんじゃないかな。waistcoat なんとか。
waistcoat pocket and looked at it, then hurried on. Alice started to her feet. For it flashed across her mind that she had never before seen a rabbit with either a waistcoat with either a waistcoat pocket or a watch to take out of it. Help.
Okay. I'm burning with.
Yes. I'm burning with curiosity.
Burning with curiosity.
And burning with curiosity. She ran across the field after it, and was just in time to see it pop into a large rabbit hole under the hedge. Pop down a large rabbit hole under the hedge. In another moment, down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again. The rabbit hole went straight on like a tunnel for some way, and then dipped suddenly down, so suddenly that Alice had not a moment to think about stopping herself before she found herself falling down what seems to be a very deep well. Either the well was very deep, or she fell very slowly, for she had plenty of time as she went down to look about her and to wonder what was going to happen next. First, she tried to look down and make out what she was coming to, but it was too dark to see anything. Then she looked at the side of the well and noticed size of the well, and noticed that they were filled with cupboards and bookshelves.
Yeah, cupboards. P は読まないね。cupboards ってP は読まないじゃん。cupboard
and bookshelves.
ものすごい怪しいアドバイスだな。
And bookshelves. Here and there, she saw maps and pictures.
あ、聞こえなくなった。It's not clear. Why can't hear?
聞こえにくくなったので、ちょっと待ってみようか。
Why can't hear you very well? Why can't hear you very well? It's not clear at all.
消えてしまった。
Now I cannot hear. I cannot hear her at all. No, I can't hear her at all.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Right. Okay, go ahead. Continue. あれ
Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
コールドロップトンになってしまった。ちょっと待ってね。つなげます。
I can't hear you very well.
もしもし。コールフェイルドになってしまっている。こういう場合、Hello.
Can I?
どこら辺で聞こえなくなったかな今な。今ね、
Okay.
1分ぐらい聞こえてなかったんですよ。
Here and there. Here and there. ぐらいでいいですかね。
あ、そのあたりでやってみましょうか。
あ、そうですね。カバードまで聞こえてます。Covered bookshelves. Right.
Covered bookshelves. Here and there. She saw maps and pictures hung up on pegs. She took down a jar from one of the shelves as she passed. It was labeled orange marmalade, but to her great disappointment, it was empty. It was empty. She did not like to drop the jar for fear of killing somebody underneath, so managed to put it into one of the cupboards as she fell past it.
すごいね。
素晴らしい。
本当です
これ
ボロボロ
ね
ですけど。
どうですか僕ね全然最後までいかなかったんですよ。アンクルポリグロットさん的にはですね、どうですかこの出来っていうのは。
ですね、first of all, I have to acknowledge defeat because I couldn't do the whole thing either. So I couldn't do the whole thing. So I had to actually take away the last paragraph, and I only memorized the first 5 paragraphs, and that's it. Because I thought to myself, hey, there's no way I can do that. Right. So really salute you for your courage to memorize the whole thing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, really. And in terms of pronunciation, it was really, really clear. I could hear and understand every single word that you were saying, which is really impressive. And yeah, I thought it was bravo.
Thank you so much.
Well, I can't hear very well. You're speaking English. It's not clear to me. It sounds like you're talking in the bathroom since it's resonating. It's not clear. But I just wonder, Kaz, Wikawa,
if I have any
can hear each of us very well.
Yes,
okay?
Very clearly. Yeah, you guys did a good job. She did a good job.
There should be no problem when it comes down to broadcast it and later on upload it. And I think that everybody can listen to it very clearly.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's not clear right now, but that should be okay.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear all 3 of you very well, very clearly.
Yeah,
and
me
I
too.
know Skype that the icon of Weda-san is showing an exclamation point, and I just wonder why.
It seems my iPhone has some technical problems.
I have an iPhone, that's why. Okay, I'm on PC at the moment.
So it should be okay for everybody else.
Yeah.
I think that when it's time to actually upload it and broadcast it, it shouldn't be a problem.
No, yeah, no problem.
So what do you think, Kazuya-san, about my recitation?
It was very good, impressive, and I could not believe that you were able to memorize almost the whole thing. いや、すごいなと思いましたね。
This was really, really impressive, I have to say.
やっぱりね、若いっていいよね。若いっていいよね。
若さ関係あるの？
あるのかな。俺ね、女の人は男より記憶力、傾向としてはあるんじゃないかなと思ってるんですよね。ね。
ツイッター上ではですね、あんまり何もコメントが出てないので、ぜひ皆さんコメントお願いいたします。
このね、全部の文章みんな見てるの？どっかで見れてるの？
見れてる。今ここで、ありますよっていうので送ってますので、はい。
じゃあね、最後はやっぱり鳥はね、アンクルポリグロットさんにね、取っていくということで、僕でできるところまで僕全部できなかったですが、第一パラグだけで終わってしまうかもしれないですけど、やっていい？
はい、どうぞ。
そうですね。分かんなくなったらちょっと最初の単語を言ってもらって、それをきっかけにまた思い出すかもしれないのでよろしくお願いしますよね。
はい。
いいですか？ Okay, give it a try. I give it a try. Can I start now?
Sure.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me very well?
I can hear you perfect.
すみません。今、MIZUKIさんに対する称賛の嵐です。ツイッター上が素晴らしかったと。すごかったとかね。五郎蔵さんが私は2時間でそんなことはできないと無理ですと書いて出てます。はい、失礼しました。
ちょっとヘロヘロですよ、今もう。
で、今、大野さんがですね、上田さんにも期待してますという。
僕はもう全然、半分もいけないと思います。でも全力で頑張りました。全力でやってみたいと思いますね。じゃあ行きます。いいですか？
はい。
Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank and of having nothing to do. Once or twice, she had peeped into the book her sister was reading. But it had no pictures or conversations in it. And what is the use of a book? Told Alice. without pictures or conversations. And next, so she was considering in her mind as much as she could for as much as she could for the day, for the whole day, made her feel sleepy, very sleepy and stupid. Whether the pleasure of making a daisy chain would be worth the trouble of getting up and picking the daisies. For picking the daisies. なんか白いさ。
カンニングしてないでしょうね、カンニングは。
してないよ。だから思い出す。次ね、何だったっけ？ Picking the daisies for ちょっと待って。ちょっと最初からやっていい？So she was considering in her own mind as well as she could for the whole day made her feel very sleepy and tired. Whether the pleasure of making a daisy chain would be worth the trouble of getting up and picking the daisy. When she saw a white rabbit run away. When she saw a white rabbit. When she saw a white rabbit run away, when she saw a white rabbit with pink eyes ran close by her. そうかな。で、次、すみません。次の最初の言葉ください。第3パラグラフの。
There was nothing.
And there was nothing.すみません。もっと。And there was nothing. One more words. Give you more word. There's.
MIZUKI-san, can you help out?
Okay.
There was
nothing so very remarkable.
There was nothing so very remarkable in that. There was nothing so remarkable in that. Nor did Alice think it so very much out of the way to hear the rabbit say to itself, "Oh dear, I shall be too late. Oh dear, I shall be too late." When she think it over afterwards.
絶対カンニングしてる。
してない。When she think it over afterwards. When she think it over afterwards. してないってほんまに。When she think it over. 邪魔するね。When she think it over afterwards, she realized it occurred to her that she ought to have wondered at it. But at the same time, it all seemed natural. But at the same time, it all seemed natural. ですよね。すみません、次の。It all seemed quite natural. It all seemed quite natural. すみません、次ね、ウェイストコートのパラグラフ、すみません、きっかけお願いします。すみません、次第4パラグラフの。
Okay. But when the rabbit
もうちょっと。When the rabbit
actually took a watch.
When the rabbit actually took a watch out of its waistcoat pocket. Out of its waistcoat pocket. すみません。もうちょっと。When the rabbit actually took a watch out of its waistcoat pocket.
And looked at it.
And looked
at it.
And looked at it, and then hurried it on. Alice started to her feet. Alice started to her feet. すみません、もう次。Alice started to her feet.
Or it flashed across her mind that she had loved
it flashed across her mind. It flashed across her mind. すみません、忘れた。これさっきまで暗記してないな。It flashed across her mind. すみません、もう一個。It flashed across her mind.
That she had never before seen.
That she had never seen. That she had never before seen a rabbit. Either with waistcoat pocket or a watch to take out of it. すみません、もう以上です。ちょっとギブアップしますね。
すごい。
It was excellent.
すごい。
I'm quite amazed that you could get this far. To be honest.
はい。すみません、もうちょっと入れたんですけど、喋ってるうちにすっかり忘れてしまいました。I think, and that's all I can do for the first time tried. But I find out it's a very good method, and I can enjoy it. And I think I wish and we'll have the second time the serial. We want to make it serial, and want to have this programs once again. I want to give it once again. I'm going to give it try it once again. Good, thank you.
What do you guys think about his recitation?
I was a little amazed that he was able to memorize so much. And I think he did a good job.
He did indeed, yeah. I totally agree. He did an excellent job.
But initially he said that he was not sure if he could pass even the first paragraph or second. And he reminded me of my classmates from high school. He would say, "Oh my God, I didn't study at all for this test," right? And during the midterm, and then he comes to, he does really well on the math test, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't do any study at all," but he does it anyway. So I was reminded of my old classmate from high school.
Yeah.
How do you call that kind of person?
I was lucky because this story, Alice in Wonderland, is one of my favorite stories. So it was easy to memorize this story for me. So Kazu-san.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kazu-san's choice was perfect for me.
Lucky.
Yeah, lucky.
Let us give it a try for the second time in the near future, and just see if the MIZUKI-san can do it well with another topic, or like the articles of Time magazine or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be very tough. Yeah, even for me, those scientific terminologies and stuff, I would just find it so difficult. I can give it a try, but I cannot guarantee you success.
But I find it really enjoyable, having found, although it is very, very tough for me to do it.
Yes, it's tough.
Yeah, and I have to I have to agree with MIZUKI-san there that Kaz has actually selected a wonderful passage for us to recite from. I quite like Lewis Carroll's writing style. Alice in Wonderland. I have never read this book before, but I was quite impressed by the writing style of this author. So it's excellent article for us to practice on.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that そろそろ先生の登場でしょうか。
Then it's my turn, yeah?
I have a feeling that
Okay.
there's some enormous expectation building up.
Okay, like I mentioned before, I wasn't able to get the whole thing memorized. The final passage, the passage that starts with either the well, what, and so, right? I have to kind of skip it altogether because I told myself that there is nothing I can get it done. So I am going to only recite the first 5 paragraphs. And as with you guys, I want you guys to help me out whenever I come across a section where I can't remember. So I will ask for help, okay?
Okay.
Sure.
And so what I'm going to do is to put on my eye mask so that to show everybody that I'm not cheating.
Actually, I'm the only one who can see you, so I'll make sure that you're not cheating.
You can vouch for it, right?
皆さん今ですね、外国語大好きおじさんがアイマスクをかぶりました。このことでですね、カンニングをしてないことがわかるということです。私が証人になります。
Okay, good. But I forgot because it's been such a while. So I'll give it a shot. Okay. Alice was beginning to get very tired sitting by her sister on the bank. And having nothing to do. Once or twice she peeped into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it. What is the use of a book? Thought Alice, without pictures or conversation. Can somebody help me out? I already forgot. Mizuki-san, can you help me out?
Sure. So she was considering.
So she was considering in her own mind as well as she could. For the hot day made her feel very, very sleepy and stupid. Whether the pressure of making a daisy chain, I think, whether the pressure of making the daisy chain would be worth the trouble of getting up and picking the daisies when suddenly a white rabbit with pink eyes ran close by. Can you help me out? I really am sorry. Yeah.
There was nothing so very remarkable in that.
Okay. There was nothing so very remarkable in that. Nor did Alice think it was so very out of the way for the rabbit to say to himself. Nor did Alice think it was very out of the way to hear the rabbit say to itself, "Oh dear, I shall be too late." When she thought about it, can you help me out? I'm sorry.
When she thought it over.
When she thought it over afterwards, it occurred to her that it occurred to her that it ought to have wondered at it. But after time, it all seemed quite natural. Right. But when the rabbit actually took the watch out of its waistcoat pocket and looked at it and then hurried on, Alice started to her feet. For it flashed across her mind that she had never before seen a rabbit either with a waistcoat or what she picked up from it. And burning with curiosity, she ran across the gosh, I forgot. I'm sorry. Can you help us?
She ran across the field after it.
Okay, she ran across the field after it. Okay, I have to give up. I'm sorry, I really have to give up. Yeah.
And we're just in time to see it.
She ran across. Okay. Let me cheat. Let me take off my eye mask. Hold on.
Well, it doesn't matter. This is the opportunity for learn, not competition, basically. So it's okay that you can't say it's cheating, or just you can refer to the original text.
And we're just in time to see it. I totally have to acknowledge defeat here. I give up. I'm sorry. I totally give up. I'm sorry. I turned out to be such a disappointment, but I know
that's okay. Well, I think we are chatting in Japanese for so long. So
before we start,
while we're chatting, that you, the words that in your mind slips away, but it's okay. But it's okay. Well, it's
no, my sincere apologies because I boasted about this methodology, being effective and all that. Right? I forgot. Maybe I'm too nervous, in front of the webcam and all that.
Yeah, I think so.
That's no
I understand it.
So,
I understand it.
Yeah, I admit that I am the loser here. I am.
But I have to say, you did a very good job.
You can't say there is no loser or winner here. This is the opportunity to learn. So you're giving the insight, and that was very nice. And actually, it was really encouraging that even a very smart person like you had to give up in this moment. That was really encouraging. And I feel like I'm not so really bad, and was actually so discouraged when the MIZUKI-san can do it, can complete it, and I cannot do it all. But and I found out that it's not so discouraging. So I want to give it. Try it with second times in the near futures, and I hope that we can do it better.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but once again, my sincere apologies to everybody.
No apologies. これね、
よかったですね。
日本語でもいい？
よかったんちゃいます？
これね、長くなかった。これめちゃくちゃ、これ、ペーパーバッグ1ページ、2ページ分ぐらいない？い
や、そんなことないと思うけど、400字ちゃう？確か。
No, it has like 450 something words.
457語よ。
Yeah, normally a paperback novel in one page, it contains about 350 words. So it's longer than usual. So, which makes it all the more impressive what MIZUKI-san has just achieved. It's just so impressive.
これね、半分ぐらいでもいいかもしれないね。もし、これ今日実験的に最初やったけど、またもう一回やりたいんですよね。それで、この半分ぐらいでもちょうどいいかもわからないね。
きつすぎるってことかな。
僕はね、本当にね、もう話してるかと思いましたよ。
なんか、ちょっと聞いてて思ったんですけど、アンポロ、なんて呼べばいいんでしたっけ？
My name is Uncle Pavlikla. My handle name, yeah. Tell me.
すごいなんか文単位、私の止まり方と上田さんの止まり方と違うなと思って、なんかワンセンテンスはスラッと出てくるみたいな。
It's just that,
しませんでした？
In building, accumulating sentence after sentence after sentence, right? That it, yeah, it's true that it comes natural, one big chunk that it comes out.
Yeah. So that was the difference between you and two of us.
このメソッドとかこれにまつわることでいろいろ質問があるんですが、アンクルポリグロットさんは例えば20歳ぐらいの時やってた時と今の40歳の自分とで、その記憶力そのもの瞬発力が落ちたとか、あるいは逆に、経験によってそれを補うことで向上する部分もあるのか、その辺はどうですかね。
Okay, I have to say yes and no to your question because I have just demonstrated that my memory has been deteriorating. Obviously, I couldn't finish the whole thing at all, right? First of all, I let go of the final passage altogether. And that's one thing. And then I couldn't even finish the first 3 paragraphs. So definitely, I think my memorization, per se, has been deteriorating. But then again, my vocabulary has been increasing, that's for sure. And I would think that my fluency has improved a lot over the years. And about 3 years ago, I came across Kat's method of Eigo no where you can actually improve your vocalization by making use of your throat extensively. So I think in terms of vocalization, it has also improved. So yeah. So my answer to the questions, I guess, is that I am improving in some ways and deteriorating in some ways. And it's interesting that we had quite an even age distribution because Ueda-san is 50, I'm 40, and MIZUKI-san is 30, so we're 10 years apart.
I'm 47.
Oh, MIZUKI-san is 20. Well, she's 20 years old. She's 20 years old.
She's 20 or 30?
She's 20.
She's 20. Gosh,
yeah.
She's a student.
Oh gosh.
She looks like 3 in her photo.
Oh gee.
Skype photo.
Yeah, Skype photo.
Yeah.
That's 4.
Okay. Oh gosh. Okay, so you're about half my age. Yeah, but it was quite interesting, and I think, like you said, age has something to do with it. I think it.
And I also think that sex has a lot to do with it.
What kind?
Well, I think the women's thing when it comes down to memorization, I think women has an edge, or the advantage over males. That's what I think.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there in the sense that females they're generally thought to be better at languages than males because by nature they're sociable and they are I'm a very shy person and I don't like talking to strangers, for example. Whereas females they can feel more free to speak with strangers, so that they have a better chance of improving their fluency.
コメントが来ておりますので読みますよ。チャール・ダバオさんが500ワード近くを2時間だと日本語でも正確に覚えるのが結構辛いですね、という。
ですよね。ですよね。これね、一回日本語でやってみてもいいと思うんですよね。
勘弁してくれって。
日本語でやるとより。
勘弁してくれっていう感じ。
日本語でやったらよ。一回上川がどこまでできるかちょっとやってみたい。
できるわけねえじゃん、こんなの。
ね、
できないね。ちょっと質問じゃあ僕の方から質問しますね。これをやったらやっぱそれに含まれてる表現なんかがその会話なんかの時に出てくるものなんですか
？Yes, I will have to say that, the more you recite, right, I think it becomes part of your language. It's just in a sense that it gets integrated into your vocabulary and your sense, and it comes out naturally.
Right. That's exactly what I thought as I performed. I started doing my language training with this method of the recitation techniques, and I found out the words can be internalized in me. Not 100% of it, but it's a part of it. And it stays in my mind, in my brains, somewhere. So although I forget about it, if I forget, it all slips away after you're done the next day. But maybe when you're talking, it comes out without thinking it. So I think it is very useful. Very effective.
Precisely, yeah. When I talk English, I don't even think about how to organize it grammatically because it just comes out naturally, based on the sentences that accumulate, right? So, yeah.
There is a conventional, well-known method called ondoku, so reading it out. And when I compare it, the ondoku and the recitation, things are quite different. The effects are quite different. I think the recitation it takes a lot of tryings if you're trying to recite it in comparison to just reading it out. So the effect, in accordance with your efforts, you have to give it the effects as you can get is a lot more than just reading it aloud.
ちょっといいですか? Can I say one thing?
はい。
So,
はい。
これを now you memorize the whole thing more or less with some varying level of success ということは今覚えた表現を使ってねわざとね喋れます今例えば What's the use of this approach if、you don't use it? Thought I without really showing that on the spot 今ちょっと使ってみたんですけどねアリスのパッセージからWhat is the use of the book? Thought Alice without pictures or conversations. という感じでわざと使って喋れますか?
I was
Okay, yeah, MIZUKI-san, go ahead. Yeah. What are you
I'm beginning to get very tired of listening to you guys.
なんで
それ今のが表現ですよ.
For example, yeah. For
example.
Yeah, example.
ああ、そうかそうか。だどこあったっけ
ね、最初のね、今の覚えてもらって一番最初のね。Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank のですね。他には
would be
Okay,
worth
so my,
the
based on
trouble.
my experience, right, I don't actually make a conscious effort to use the words that I memorize because I just leave it to my memory, you know, and when I come out, right, I don't want to sound unnatural and too literal when I speak. So I just leave it to my memory.
Yeah, but I was just burning with curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Burning with curiosity, that's a wonderful expression. Right?
Burning with curiosity って出てきましたよね。
I don't constantly use it, but it comes out instinctively, you know, when you accumulate enough sentences.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel, Ueda-san and Mizuki-san? Do you think you'll be able to really use these expressions that you just memorized?
Well, I think that it's not that you just put a bunch of those vocabulary into the drawing and pick it consciously, but just the expressions and the vocabularies, the words come out without thinking it and popping out from that drawings or without thinking it. That's what happens, which is what I found out as I'm performing these trainings with me. 全然わざとこの表現を使ってやろうと思ってそれを狙ってやるって言ってるうちは多分ダメだと思うんですよね。でもこういうことによって多分インターナライズされてそういう言葉が何の気なしに出てくるってそういう効果があってやっぱりそれが一番強いんじゃないかというふうに思います。
Yeah, I agree with it. I can't use these expressions in this passage right after I restated the passage, but the new expressions and new vocabularies will remain in my brain.
Subconsciously ね。
Yeah, so it helps me in many ways, you know.
But if you try to use, I'm sorry to butt in, but if you try to consciously use expressions that you just memorized, wouldn't it be more effective to make it into part of your brain?
That's not a bad thing, but I think the most important part of this training is just put all of those words into your subconscious.
Well, in the beginning stages, I think it's unavoidable that you want to use a new expression that you have just learned, you know, again and again and again, you know, ad infinitum, right? But you know, but eventually it will become part of your vocabulary. That it just, how should I put it? You know, it becomes second nature for you to just use those expressions without even thinking about it. So yeah, so I have to actually my answer to Kat's question is yes, you can use it. You know, immediately after learning it, and keep repeating it until you get sick of it. Right? But getting sick of it means that it's actually already become, how should I say, incorporated into part of your vocabulary, so that you know you don't have to consciously use it because it always stays in your brains.
If you want a cookie, people have to subscribe to this channel.
you get a cookie per subscriber. Okay? Ask people to subscribe to this channel.